The Seahawks continue to own the Cardinals in the past 4 years. Seattle is 8-0 head-to-head, winning by an average of 8 points per game. Last night got a little dicey down the stretch, but Seattle pulled off the 23-20 victory, which is why we are putting the player spotlight on Sam Darnold, presented by Auto Trader. Powered by Auto Intelligence. Darnold did not have his best night, but he connected with Jackson Smith and Jigba for a 22-yard gain with 23 seconds left to put the Seahawks in field goal position to win that game. Jason Myers hit the 52-yard field goal, and the Seahawks improved to 3-1 on the season to stay within striking distance of the 49ers atop the NFC West. Next up for Seattle, the Bucs on CBS in Week 5. Week 4 of NFL action kicked last night, but we are looking ahead to the headliner on Sunday. Ravens at Chiefs, two great teams off to a 1-2 start. Despite the early season record, anytime two great QBs like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson square off, we'll see some fireworks. But there could not possibly be more on the line with the loser dropping to 1-3. Only one team in NFL history has won the Super Bowl after a start like that, and both of these teams should be considered contenders. This is one of many games we have ahead on CBS, so get ready with your remotes. From divisional showdowns with Titans, Texans, to some AFC, NFC cross-conference matchups, plenty to get excited about for Sunday. But for this next segment, we're skipping Sunday. We're looking all the way ahead to Monday with Ryan Wilson as he predicts his Monday morning headlines. Let's start with that AFC South matchup, Titans and Texans. Both still looking for their first win of the season, and a divisional one would be extra sweet. So what's the headline?
Hey, Emily, good to see you as always. Look, it's not surprising that Tennessee is 0-3. It is quite surprising that Houston is 0-3. But as producer Noah / headline writer Wilson Times points out, you got to be kidding me. And this is bad news for Houston because Tennessee's going to come into town and win their first game of the season with rookie quarterback Cam Ward. This Texans team has been a disappointment by any measure. They failed to score a touchdown in any of their 4 red zone possessions this year. C.J. Stroud is struggling. His passer rating, his rookie season in 23, Emily, 100.8. The last 2 seasons, it's at 85. That is unsustainable. The offensive line has been in shambles. The defense, while it's been very good, the Texans can't score points. And here's the thing. Cam Ward's been sacked 15 times so far this season, and that's a ton. That's not great. That's more feature than bug because he has been so calm in the pocket. You don't see the skittishness you sometimes see from young quarterbacks. He's been absolutely dealing. I think it all comes together this time around this week. Texas, by the way, 1-5 against Tennessee in Houston. So I'm going to go with the upset here. Cam Ward gets his first NFL win.
Yikes. All right, Houston Chronicle, Tennessean, doing your work for you here. Meanwhile, the Titans looking to avoid their 10th straight loss, which would be their longest streak since moving from, well, Houston. A lot of storylines in this one. Elsewhere in the AFC South, the Colts are in LA to take on the Rams. So what is the Monday morning headline?
Emily, this is how you know you live in a simulation. Daniel Jones is one of the best players in the NFL, and it may not even be close. It is crazy times USA. Look, they're going to Los Angeles to play a Rams team that was good prior to last week. Indiana Jones in the rout of the Rams. Again, the new Harrison Ford, that guy, Daniel Jones. Try to wrap your brain around that. The Colts have punted just once all season, Emily. That's one more time than you punted all season. And they have been absolutely dominant on offense. They're scoring on a league high 77% of their drives. And shout out to our CBS research department because they had a headline about this game called The Absurdity of Daniel Jones. And it followed with Daniel Jones has more wins, 3 this season, than total negative plays, which are sacks, fumbles, and interceptions combined. He was 3-13 the last 2 years for the Giants. As you see there, he is 3-0. And if they win this game, and I think they will, Emily, we got to start having a serious conversation about the Colts being one of the best teams, if not the best team in the AFC, alongside, of course, the Buffalo Bills. And the Chargers are currently 3-0. But the Colts have been exceeding everyone's expectations. And it starts with MVP Daniel Jones.
Right? I know. I feel like everybody's kind of pumping the brakes, just afraid to have that conversation. But you got to face your fears, Ryan Wilson. We've got to talk about it. Right. Speaking of facing your fears, how about the Sunday night matchup? Packers, Cowboys. Mike Parsons, of course, is the headliner. But what's the headline?
Yeah, so let's see the headline, producer Noah, because as I point out, producer Noah Moonlight says the Wilson Times headline writer. Painful for Dak is the headline. And the funny thing about this, Emily, is that producer Noah called me to make sure, as a grandpa, that I understood that Micah made it clear that it would be painful for him to sack Dak Prescott, who was his mentor in Dallas and who he has a close relationship with. So I fired up the old dial-up and figured out what he was talking about. But I think that the overarching takeaway is that the Dallas defense stinks. They could use someone like Micah Parsons. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder. I think he comes in to Jerry World and gets 3 sacks. And for an idea of how important he has been, both was in Dallas and is in Green Bay, he and Rashawn Gary have combined for 28 pressures this year. The Dallas defense, without Micah this season, have 32. So you can tell me whether he's an impact player or not. No Tyler Booker along the offensive line, no Cooper Beebe along the offensive line, and no CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver for Dallas. They have a tough stretch ahead of them, and I think we're going to see Micah get after it, and the Packers win their 6th game against the Cowboys in AT&T Stadium.
That is unreal, yeah, undefeated in AT&T Stadium. Before we let you go, I got to ask just the impact Jayden Daniels out against the Falcons. What sort of impact do you think that will make?
You know, it's funny. We're living in a world where we're talking about Daniel Jones, Mac Jones, Marcus Mariota, Carson Wentz, all having success. And I think it's going to be business as usual for Marcus Mariota based on what we saw last week and the way that he played. And he does a lot of things similarly to what Jayden Daniels does. So that makes life a little bit easier for Cliff Kingsbury, the play caller. Now, losing Scary Terry is indeed scary, but I love the way this team's playing. Dan Quinn has them buying in to what he's been selling, and it's been a sea change over the course of 18 months to what this organization was prior. I think Marcus Mariota continues to do what he does. They'll run the ball a lot more, lean on Bill Krosky-Merritt, and I would not be surprised if they escape with a win, because that's just how this team is built, with or without their franchise quarterback.
Yeah, it was really cool to see Mariota get emotional after that win last weekend. All these quarterbacks and their second chances. We love to see it. Second chance at the start as well. Ryan Wilson, thank you so much. And of course, you can watch that game on CBS. Commanders at Falcons, the national game in the 1 o'clock Eastern window. But plenty of great action across the country, all on Sunday on CBS.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you.
Big news coming out of the NFL. A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
With highlights.
What a finish at the final round of play.
And in-depth analysis.
Can they three-peat? Tony Romo joins the conversation.
What can you say about this game?
When you need your sports in a snap,
we're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
Find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.